If the walls could talk, what would they share? Behind closed doors around Ontario, intimate partner violence has become a silent epidemic. According to womenact.ca, one woman is killed every other day by their intimate partner. In 2024 alone, 187 women and girls were violently murdered. Survivors, families, and communities are speaking up, using their voice to get one thing: recognition. They want Canada to acknowledge that intimate partner violence isn't just an injustice, it's an epidemic.
This is larger than Doug Ford's family. This is about the thousands of women and children across Ontario who don't have a member of provincial parliament or a premier as a dad.
At the heart of this movement is Bill 173, a proposed law to declare intimate partner violence, or IPV, as a public health crisis in Ontario. Now, this isn't just about a single bill, it's a movement, one that's sparked by tragedy, fueled by resilience, and carried by hundreds of voices all around Ontario and the world. One tragedy in particular spoke out, and it was the murder of these 3 women who were killed by the same man known to have a history of IPV. Renfrew County's inquest made 86 recommendations in an open letter to the Canadian government, one of them being called to declare intimate partner violence an epidemic, which prompted advocacy efforts and ultimately led to the introduction of Bill 173.
International Women's Day is fast approaching. How many more women will have to suffer preventable violence and death at the hands of perpetrators before Ontario will make meaningful changes in the system that's supposed to protect them?
This movement's power relies on communities' unity, survivors, mothers, daughters, and people who want to see change. More than 100 municipalities have already passed motions recognizing IPV as an epidemic, despite the government's negligence in passing the law due to needing further research and analysis through the Justice Committee process, even though they have initially showed full support towards this movement. Declaring IPV an epidemic would re-evaluate how domestic violence is viewed. It would no longer be a more private matter, but would be seen as a public crisis that has taken many lives. It would shift how we educate our children, how much funding services receive from the government, how domestic abuse cases are handled in the courts, and how those consequences should be much more severe to match the weight of those crimes. Pushing this bill would push the government to provide more funding for women's shelters, survivor support services, transitional housing, and mental health programs. It would also lead to an attempt at preventing violence before it happens, instead of attempting to put the pieces back together after the damage has been done. Every voice matters. Every voice holds strength, and every voice strengthens this movement. Whether it's a mother, a daughter, a city councillor, or a survivor speaking their truth. These are not merely personal views being shared. These are demands for justice, policy, and lived realities. Alone, they might have been dismissed, but collectively, they are changing the public's perception and pressuring this government to take action. For too long, survivors were asked to stay silent, stay strong, and stay hidden. Now, they're asking for something different. To be believed, to be protected, and to be seen. It is no longer enough to point out and name the problem. We have to change the structure that allows it to survive. And we begin by calling intimate partner violence what it is: an outbreak, an epidemic.